Welcome to the Real Retirees of New Jersey, powered by Liberty Financial Group and Artemis Wealth Advisors. Randy and Peggy Fisher want to help you retire once and retire right. Get more information at therealretireesofnewjersey.com. They never throw the first punch, but they're always a knockout.
Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for downloading. But most importantly, thanks for listening. This is the Real Retirees of New Jersey podcast with Peggy and Randy Fisher. It's all powered by Liberty Financial Group and Artemis Wealth Advisors. You can get more when you visit therealretireesofnewjersey.com. You can find that and all the information here in the show notes. My name is Mark Owens. Now, let's get to the show. Tell me about the Portfolio X-Ray that you offer to our radio audience. It's a deep dive into their strategies. It's a $2,500 value, but you're offering it this weekend at no cost, no obligation. So for those adults close to retirement, what is a Portfolio X-Ray?
Yeah, so what we do is we have our clients who initially come to us come in with their statements or anything that they want us to take a look at. And what we do is we put this through an X-ray portfolio. And what that does is that will show you where are all your things, where are your fees, costs, charges, of what do you think that you're paying for, really? And it goes through a deep, deep dive into all that you have. And people, it can be very, mind blowing once we take a look at it. And most people think what they have and they may not have what they have, or they think they're paying fees and they're not paying fees, and they are paying a lot of fees. So it really is such a great deep dive for new clients who come in, even for like a second opinion, to see, what do you have and, which way are we going with this?
It peels the onion back.
Absolutely.
And how many times do you have people come in, and we've gotten calls from this radio show of people that don't have specific questions about 401k or taxes or annuities, which is something y'all spend a lot of time on. But sometimes people just call and say, Randy, where am I? How am I doing? How do you get those calls?
Probably 40% of the time.
Yeah.
I mean, most people are like, can I retire? What do you think?
Yeah, that's the major question.
Right?
Can I retire? Here it is. Can I retire? Yeah.
Well, that's compared to what, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Compared to someone who has zero, you're doing awesome.
Yeah.
Compared to someone who's got, just hit the lottery, you're a little shy.
Right.
So, you have to compare it to something. And that's what we always say. The good part about it is it gives us a great snapshot of where we currently are.
Right.
Right. So that's number one. Half the battle's done. Now it's, where do you want to go? Mm-hmm. How far is it going to take us? Or how far is this portfolio going to take you to your destination?
Right.
Are there any stops in between that we need to make? Any pit stops? Do we need to change the tires? Do we need to do something? Do we need to change the car, the automobile, or whatever it may be? Do we need to upgrade your positions? Once we get that established, then we can start to think, well, on this trajectory, how long will it take me to get from point A to point B? Right. And then it's, okay, well, is that the case? Do you want to stop working? Do you want to continue to work? Are there going to be any other changes in between? Are you going to be debt free? Are there going to be any type of weddings or something like that pop up in between that we need to pay for? And on and on. Life happens, right?
And we do go through that with all of our clients.
That's exactly right.
Absolutely. We go through all those things almost like a little checklist, when we sit down with people. Not only that, too, but we also go over, just all of the things that may come up. We also do like a budget with the clients to say, okay, this is what I am going to need for retirement, or this is about what I use per month. And we go over all of those things with the clients.
And it's shocking because, number one, people don't realize what they spend because most people don't have a budget.
Yeah.
That's just a fact. Most people wing it, right?
Yeah, a lot of those meetings can be very funny and eye-opening.
They are interesting.
How much do you spend on cable? Oh, we don't pay for cable. No, we do. We have Hulu, we have Netflix, we have And then when we added that all off, I think it came to like $200. That was $200 a month that they didn't think was $200 a month, right?
We did exactly that. We went to cut the cord to save on cable and realized we were spending more on streaming than we were. So we cut back on our streaming and went back to cable.
Yes. Yeah, that's exactly
it's
it.
Actually paying less.
It's true. And you find just little things like that could be $200 a month that, a client's like, no, we don't. Do we do that?
You need to doge yourself.
Yes, right.
Right?
Yes.
Everybody's got to doge themselves. I love that.
Oh, I think you just came up with a new verb.
Some people hurt.
I just got doged.
Some people hate that, right?
Yeah.
I got another one for you. Don't be an asshole. You know what an asshole is?
No, tell us, Randy.
A person who always asks for advice but never does what you tell them to do.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. I like that.
Asshole.
Asshole.
You need to separate that a little bit more.
That's not my job. I'm not the producer. And if you can't understand my dialect, that's not my problem.
Oh, God. I think the Jerseyans will listen to your I think the New Jerseyans know the dialect.
This is Jersey. This is so PG. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a good run. Thanks for joining us here on the Real Retirees of New Jersey.
I guarantee this week we're getting the most callers ever.
Yes.
But there is somebody listening right now that's been thinking to themselves, just as you said it, I'm ready to retire. Can I do it? Can you help me make it happen?
Yeah, it's absolutely true.
Yeah, you can come to the team at Liberty Financial Group, Artemis Wealth Advisors. That's Peggy Fisher. That's Randy Fisher. The voices that you hear, that's who you're going to sit down with. They're not going to push you off to some sub-advisor up in New York or Philly, Atlanta, or Chicago. You're going to meet with the voices that you hear this weekend to get dosed, if you will, to take a deep dive of that portfolio x-ray. It's no cost. It's no obligation. 908-844-8337. One more time, 908-844-8337 or therealretireesofnewjersey.com. You've said something before in the past, Randy. You've said, do you need active management or do you need passive management? How do we know which camp we fall in?
Most people, I find, want active management, but they're in passive management. So let me give you
and complacent with that until they talk to us.
Complacency, yes.
Yeah.
So most people, one of the things we hear about all the time is, my guy doesn't do anything. My gal, she doesn't move my account at all. So what they're looking for, I talk
to them once a year.
Yeah, but they're looking for activity.
Right.
They're looking for something to happen. They don't know what it is that they want to happen, but they know that nothing's been happening. So they assume that things are either status quo or that something needs to change to some degree.
Or they're in the mindset of, I'm just going to set it and forget it.
Right.
And on top of that, with the lack of communication.
Yes, right.
That
they
actually
do forget
adds
it.
to anxiety and a whole bunch of other stuff. So getting back out of my rabbit hole, active portfolio management means that someone or some team who's looking over your portfolio is literally making changes according to what's going on within the economy, the market, the week, the day, the business cycle, so on and so forth, depending on what the trend is that's out there. Now, let me make sure that everybody understands this. This is not day trading. So if you're a day trader, keep day trading on your own. This is not day trading. Day trading is gambling. It's some person sitting in their underwear with a bag of Cheerios with 5 computer screens thinking that they know more than Wall Street. Mm-hmm. And they sit there spending their whole day buying and selling stuff, maybe 1 or 2 stocks every single day a zillion times until they go broke and then they got to go back to work.
Yeah, that's not what we mean.
That's not what we do. We're not day traders. Active trading means that, let's say we put together a portfolio. The first thing we want to do is we want to sell something that's high and we buy something that's low. So if we put together a great portfolio made up of exchange traded funds and individual equities, maybe some cash, some bonds, things like that, and we let the portfolio marinate. What does that mean? It sits there for a little while. It starts to accumulate. We then have rules of engagement. What is our investment portfolio statement? What are the rules in which we're going to live by? So if the portfolio starts to appreciate, and it's not the whole portfolio, but this is on the individual positions. So for instance, let's say if I have a position A and it goes up 15 or 20%. Do you think it would be a good idea to sell that? I would probably say, let's sell it because we're up 15 or 20%. So if we did sell some of it, or let's say we sold off some of it, we can take the proceeds because we sold high, we made money, and then we went back into the portfolio and we actually purchased something that we really like, but it was depressed or it was down. We bought the dip. So we bought low, sold high, right? So if we can continue that trend over time with taking non-emotion, methodical, mathematical approach to the portfolio strategy, over time, what we'll continue to do is we'll reap the rewards of the gains by selling them, because something only becomes a gain when you actively sell it. So it can go up and it can go down. It doesn't mean I locked into anything. The only time I lock into a gain is if I would just sell something. So in order to do that, a portfolio actively managed would take that into consideration and they would sell it. Now, let me also preface this, ladies and gentlemen. Qualified money versus non-qualified money. Non-qualified money is money that's been taxed before and it's not tax deferred. So it would be money that came from your checking or savings account that you put into a brokerage account, and it's investing. You have capital gains. You have something called turnover ratio. That's something that you don't want to have an actively traded portfolio on. So that's something that we actually educate people on, that there are other portfolio strategies that we would put in place that's not so much passive, It's longer term, but you're still involved in equities. Okay. So we're not just turning the portfolio over, meaning it's being sold and bought and sold and bought. On the contrary, there are no tax implications in an IRA. So you can buy something and sell something every single solitary day if you elected to do so. We don't, but if you elected to do so, there would be no tax implications. So in order to get in or out of something, that's one thought that you can take away from, so you don't have to worry about that being taxed. So all you're really worried about is, am I in something that's making money or am I in something that's losing money? Should I sell it or should I buy it, right? So that's actively traded. Passively traded, on the contrary, is it's like Emeril Lagasse. He takes this big ham and he stuffs it in his air fryer and he sets the oven and forgets it. Set it, forget it, don't think about it, leave it alone, right? Sooner or later, when the ding bell goes off, you open it up and it looks good. That's his idea of set it and forget it. Some people think time in the market is more important than timing the market.
Right.
Now, I'm not into timing the market, but I also think that there are some ways that you can get in and out of the market properly being actively traded. Some people don't agree with that, but the success and the rules and the success that we've had over the past years, it proves otherwise. With that said, other people just buy a set of mutual funds and asset allocation and leave it alone. And they just let it go. So it's invest for all reasons in all seasons. Unfortunately, when times aren't good, they have to be able to live emotionally through the pain.
Right.
On the opposite side, when times are good, they're always looking to put more money in. Isn't that contrary to what we're trying to accomplish? It means that when prices are going up, we're going to look to buy. That's stupid. But that's what people do by a human nature, right? They like to do things emotionally.
Yep.
So if things feel good, we're going to put more money in them, right? Or we're going to go shopping. But what they don't realize is when the market is up and you feel good, it's probably not the best time to buy. That's the difference between emotionally investing and understanding. If you're an active investor, sometimes the best active investors are the people who have enough guts to take the investments and put them into the money when the markets are down or it doesn't look good. Because they took emotion out of the game and they're buying when it's on sale. So we've had a lot of success like that, but we also need to navigate someone's risk tolerance and we walk them through the process. And we even have some people's portfolios that some of it is actively managed and some of it's passively managed.
Right. But we always tell the client too, listen, we have to do what will make you put your head on the pillow at night.
Right. Sleep insurance.
And sleep insurance, right? And sleep well. That's exactly it, right?
Yeah, we give them a good dose of sleep insurance.
Yeah, exactly.
Without a doubt. Yep. Comes with a little cup, NyQuil, the whole deal.
Yeah. So if you'd like a cup of NyQuil and some sleep insurance, give us a call at 908-844-8337.
And don't be an asshole.
You terrify me every time you say that. 908-84. Our producer's going, what is happening? 908-844-8337. Always available at therealretireesofnewjersey.com. If you hear anything on this weekend show, well, call and ask the questions. It costs you nothing to take advantage of that portfolio x-ray. It's a $2,500 value, but this weekend, exclusively for our radio audience, it's no cost, it's no obligation. Again, 908-844-8337. We invite you to call right now. We bring this up a lot here on the Real Retirees of New Jersey. We're talking about the power of an annuity. And there are some people, and I heard it again this week, there are some financial advisors, some wealth managers out there that say, oh, annuities aren't worth the paper that they're written on. Stay away from them. Where do you fall on this train of thought? And more importantly, why are they beneficial to a retirement strategy?
So for some of our clients, they're very beneficial. And when I say that, what I mean is, you know, an annuity is a contract that's issued and distributed by an insurance company and bought by an individual. So you give your money to an insurance company and they will in fact give you income for life. I mean, that's a great thing. If you think about it, kind of think of it like a Social Security payment, right?
Mm-hmm.
A pension payment, right? You know, you give them money and then you know over time throughout the whole entire course of your lifetime that you'll have a payment every month, just as you would a Social Security payment going forward for your retirement. I think it's a great tool.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
I mean, bottom line, let me ask you a question. When you eat soup, do you use a fork or do you use a spoon?
No, I just take it right to the mouth. I just put bowl to mouth, and I don't care if it's cold or hot. I'm all in. I
knew you were going to say that, you barbarian.
Of course, you use a spoon.
Yes.
Right? So yes, if you want to have extra nourishment as quickly as possible, you'd probably use a spoon. It doesn't mean that a fork is a bad tool, right? Do you hate the fork because you're eating soup? No. Right? You know, listen, if you have a salad or a steak or something like that, you need that fork.
Sure.
Use the best tool for the job. It's really what it comes down. It's that easy.
And the way we look at it too is with our portfolios for people, you know, they have, you know, their wealth, you know, with Randy. And then they also then would have some annuities with me, meaning that's your safe money. You know that is money that is on the side, and no matter what, because we will only sell certain annuities. They do not have fees. They do not have costs. They do not have charges on them. That you know, no matter what happens with that market, up or down, you will lose nothing. Your annuity will be a safe haven for you. And that's just one of the things that we use in the portfolio. So it's just a portion of certain people's money. For some of our clients, actually, that is a big part of, you know, their retirement is knowing that they will have a monthly income that they can't outlive.
It's the difference between having a paycheck and a playcheck.
Right. That's what we always say. Yeah.
So if you have a pension, if you have Social Security and your needs are met, then maybe you don't need an annuity.
Yeah.
Because you already have green money. You have guaranteed income that's coming in no matter what happens. Then all your other money can be commission, meaning anything you make from your investments when the times are good, you can reap the rewards and you can take money out and you can do it for discretionary spending and do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
When times are not good and times are lean, leave it alone, right? But on the opposite side, what Peggy just mentioned was you have green money. You have a guaranteed paycheck that's coming in.
A guaranteed income stream, you know?
Paycheck.
Right. Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And most people that we meet have not lived through their lifetime being on a commission. They've lived through their life getting a W-2 check every 2 weeks or so. And they like that. You know, they go down to the mailbox or they go to their inbox in their checkbook. Every single month, there's a deposit, right? So can you do that with a brokerage account? Sure you can. But then you have something called reverse dollar cost averaging. And that's something where people's portfolios start to dwindle when they're removing money from the accounts as the market actually declines. And I don't have enough time to talk about that now, but if you'd like to come in and talk about that, 908-844-8337. Just mention reverse dollar cost averaging, but that's living on commission. Now, if you have a pension and you have Social Security and you still can't make your ends meet, that means you have a shortfall.
Right.
How do you make it up?
Yeah.
And then the question is, would you like a guaranteed check? Or would you like to try to make it on commission?
And the way that annuities are designed to provide, you know, a steady cash flow for people during their retirement years, and that's to help alleviate, we talk about fear of outliving your money, right? That's what everybody's fear is in retirement. And an annuity is just one of those, tools.
It cannot be outlived.
Right. That's what I'm saying. The annuity is the tool to help with something like that.
It's a 100% contractual obligation between an insurance company and
the
a participant.
individual.
The annuitant.
Yes, right.
Meaning you'll have a paycheck as long as you can fog a mirror.
That's right. As Randy always says, as long as you can fog a mirror, you're going to get that check in the mail. Yeah.
Hell of a description you got there.
Yeah.
Or that we did learn that there are some 150 to 300-year-old people living in the Social Security system this year. So thank God they're still alive.
My great-grandfather got his check last week. We're really proud of him.
Yeah.
People that fought for the Civil War are still getting it.
908-844-8337. I have a pension. I have a Social Security check coming in. Should I entertain the option for an annuity?
Yeah, absolutely.
It depends.
Yeah.
Really? You're right. So it's everybody's situation is similar but different. You know, everybody's situation, they want stability, they want guarantees. Everybody wants their cake and eat it too. It's how much money are you willing to lose? That's one of the questions we ask all the time. And people look at us like we're stupid for asking that question because nobody wants to lose any money. Yeah. But it's a great question because it comes down to an instant risk tolerance test. Because it comes down to the fact that, okay, I don't really want to lose money, but if my portfolio went down 20, 30, 40, 50, $100,000, I can still go on. I can still live, right? It'll come back. Some people, when you ask them, if you lost $20,000, they would rather lose their child than lose $20,000.
Right.
Now, I'm being facetious, ladies and gentlemen. Don't hold me to that. But what I'm getting at is some people's risk tolerance is zero.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
It should say, chock full of nuts.
And if it is that, then an annuity is a great product for you. Yes,
absolutely.
Exactly.
So when it comes down to what I was getting at was if you don't have a risk tolerance and you're looking for guaranteed sources.
Yes.
Whether it's immediate income or deferred income, what does that mean? Well, deferred income means I'm going to grow my money and then take income later or take a withdrawal. Mm-hmm. And annuity is a great place for it. If you have non-IRA money and you don't like paying capital gains or interest or taxes on interest during the course of every year,
Another great place to put your money.
an annuity
That's right.
defers
Taxes.
taxation.
Yep.
One of the things deferral does is it compounds the growth of that instrument forward. Similarly, like a 401k,
Right.
like an IRA, like a Roth IRA, certain on and on and on. Now, it's not tax-free, but you get the picture.
Right.
By growing it, it's like that snowball. Every revolution that goes around it, you pack that snow on, it gets bigger and bigger, faster and faster. The annuity does the same thing. An annuity, ladies and gentlemen, is essentially, there are 4 different types. Just go over the 2 easy ones to come up with, because Peggy mentioned before, we want no fees, no cost, no charges. Fixed annuity is the equivalent of a certificate of deposit.
Right. Think of it as CD.
The same risk tolerance, the same type of guarantees, all that good stuff. The fact is, if you put your money in there, it's like watching paint dry, you're going to get interest. How much interest? You're going to get a little bit more interest normally than what the bank gives you. That's the reason why people go to insurance companies. Why else? Number 2, when you put money in a CD, it's locked for that period. So if I bought a 5-year CD, I can't touch it for 5 years.
Right. Same thing with an annuity.
If I bought a 5-year annuity, I can get normally
Up to
about 10% per year.
Yep.
If
Free-
I needed
free
it.
withdrawal. Yep.
Right. And it didn't break the annuity, which means that I'm going to continue to get my interest. Some of these interest payments are as high as 4 or 5%, which are awesome.
Yeah.
On top of that, some of them even give bonuses for how much?
20%.
20%,
We got lots of annuities
10%,
right now for
12%.
20%.
So, just for getting there, you get an immediate bonus. Let me just put this into perspective. I got $100,000. If I went to a CD and got 4%, I get $4,000 that year.
Right.
If I have $100,000 and I went to an annuity company and they gave me just a 10% bonus,
Right.
I got $10,000. So I start with 10 grand right off the top.
That's right.
And I'd get an additional, let's just say it's 3%.
Yeah.
3% on top of that. So the first year, and let's just do simple math, 13% for year 1, it would take me what? 1, 2, 3, 4 years
To get that
to get the
exact-
same equivalent
That's right.
in a CD. Yeah. So it gives you a gigantic jump start on the availability of your money growing. Number 2, if you did turn it into a lifetime income payment, it's a continual income stream for the rest of your life if you like that. Or if you wanted to take money out in the future, you can eventually walk away with it, just like a certificate of deposit. No one ransacks your money, holds you to the table, puts shackles on you. So 2 things people really hate about annuities, which are misunderstood.
Is
1,
fees.
And we already tackled that one. There's 0.
Yep.
Number 2 is the length of time in which you need to stay in it.
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's a give and take in everything in life. If you want a good return and you want tax deferral and you want 100% guarantee, you're going to have to give up 100% liquidity.
Right.
But it doesn't mean that you have to give it all up,
No, because you'll get the 10% free per
because you
year.
still have access.
Exactly.
With a certificate of deposit, you don't.
That's correct.
There are bonuses that are potentially attached to an annuity.
Yeah.
So right out of the gate, you're already ahead of the game.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So if you like what you hear this weekend, they understand a lot of this can be confusing. But at the end of the day, what do you call it? Sleep insurance?
Sleep insurance.
That's
Don't
their
be
goal.
an asshole.
You're freaking me out, man.
Get your cup of NyQuil. 908.
908. Go ahead. You finish that.
908-844-8337.
I just came up with a new T-shirt too. I'm getting these made.
Yeah.
I got doged and I liked it.
Randy,
Only here we have turned getting doged into a verb. 908-844-8337. If you want more, we invite you to reach out to the team. Sit down, have this conversation, the portfolio x-ray. Let's see where you're at, what adjustments need to be made. It's a $2,500 value, but this weekend, it's no cost, it's no obligation when you call right now. 908-844-8337. We're always available at therealretireesofnewjersey.com. We are an independent financial services firm helping individuals create retirement strategies using a variety of financial and insurance products to custom suit their needs and objectives. Investment advisor services offered through Artemis Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Exposure to ideas and financial vehicles discussed should not be considered investment advice or recommendation to buy or sell any financial vehicle. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. Investments can fluctuate and when redeemed may be worth more or less than when originally invested. Artemis Wealth Advisors is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency and does not provide legal or tax advice. Please consult with your attorney, accountant, and or tax advisor for advice concerning your particular circumstances. Annuity guarantees rely solely on the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the issuing insurance company. By contacting us, you may be provided with information about insurance and annuity products offered through Randolph A. Fisher, insurance license number 9616074, and Liberty Financial Group, LLC, and Peggy Fisher, national license number 189-42003 and 570-5833.